Welcome back to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we're exploring SpaceX and NASA's plan to take over Mars. Can you picture it? A thriving colony on the red planet, generations living and working under a crimson sky. But the journey won't be easy. Is Mars colonization a sci-fi dream or a future reality? The most spectacular team-up in spaceflight history will be required to colonize Mars in order to overcome the great outer space, defy the human limitations, and establish humanity as a true multi-planetary species. The seasoned old guard of NASA collaborating with the insane genius of SpaceX. This is the way they intend to proceed. Musk discusses the concept of a window in time where life on Earth has existed for over 3 billion years. Humans have achieved the technology to leave Earth and visit a new planet, making them a special generation with a new responsibility. The window's duration is uncertain, and if squandered, it may never come again. Humans' desire to explore the solar system is fundamental to their existence. All we need is the means to land on Mars. The Starship Super Heavy rocket, the first vehicle ever created to tackle the basic problem of putting humans into deep space, is the realization of this concept. Since a person cannot make such a journey alone, they will need to bring a lot of equipment with them, because sending mass into space requires a lot of power. NASA's Saturn V rocket from the 1960s and their Space Launch System from November 2022 are the most powerful rockets to have ever left Earth. The only purpose for which these two devices were built was to send humans beyond Earth. There's also version 3 of SpaceX's Raptor engine, which is already under development, and it will push the boundaries even farther. Even though SpaceX set a goal of delivering 100 metric tons to the Martian surface with the Raptor version 1, it's highly likely that this will rise to 150 tons when they develop a fully functional Starship design. That's a lot of cargo, but it's still not enough, is it? The Apollo mission as a benchmark for the Mars mission requires more than just 3 times the capacity. The second revolutionary concept behind the Starship is to increase power and production and flight volume. In relation to this, NASA built 15 Saturn V rockets between 1966 and 1973, successfully launching 13 of them, carrying 24 astronauts. SpaceX saw this as a benchmark, and now, SpaceX has pledged to build 1 Starship vehicle daily, demonstrating the necessity of a fleet approach to space exploration. Elon Musk has hurled about figures, such as possessing 1,000 Starships. Elon's ultimate goal in all of this is to transport up to 1 million metric tons of goods to Mars, which should be sufficient to establish a fully self-sufficient human city there. This is what it takes to cross the chasm and never go back to the way things were. What if I told you that, despite the Starship's enormous potential, it is insufficient to actually colonize Mars? Now, what do you think the main issue is? The issue SpaceX faces with the Starship is that their best option for a rocket engine is chemical propulsion, which involves taking a highly flammable fuel, combining it with liquefied oxygen, and blowing it up at high pressure inside a combustion chamber. The exhaust gas that results is then fired out of the engine's back through a nozzle, creating thrust that propels the rocket forward. This has been the standard since the 1960s, and there have been numerous small improvements over the years. Physics limits the potential for chemical rockets, and we've essentially reached the limit already. Elon Musk claimed that the Raptor engine's 99.99 combustion efficiency meant that only God could have been able to blow those molecules up more effectively. SpaceX won't be able to unlock a 5-fold increase in potential thrust by fiddling with their turbopumps and expansion ratios to raise chamber pressure. The laws of the universe don't allow for faster travel in conventional rockets, but a faster Earth-to-Mars transport ship that could reach its destination in 45 days instead of 8 months would be crucial for colonizing Mars, as current Starship is too slow, and there's no way to make it substantially faster without assistance. This is where NASA enters the picture, contributing what is known as nuclear thermal propulsion, which is basically a nuclear-powered rocket engine. This is the method by which SpaceX increases the Starship's power 5 times. The performance of a nuclear thermal rocket engine in space is expected to be 3 to 5 times more efficient than that of a chemical rocket engine, making it comparable to a steam-powered spacecraft. This will enable the spacecraft to travel faster, carry more payload, travel farther, and navigate through space more quickly and easily than any other vehicle we have used to date. NASA has been researching this kind of engine intermittently for many years. In the 1960s, they even constructed a few prototypes, but the technology was shelved until recently. With their upgraded project, Draco Nuclear Thermal Rocket Engine, NASA wants to launch its first nuclear spacecraft within the next 5 years. This is an ambitious timeline, and there is very little chance that NASA will actually be able to develop and build a completely new vehicle in that time frame. But they could build a nuclear engine. Obviously, for a company like SpaceX, their access to nuclear fuel for rocket experiments will be heavily regulated, which is a very good thing. But it does make the development of this technology prohibitively expensive for the private sector. This will be one of the rare instances where a government agency is actually the best qualified candidate for the job. NASA may be a dinosaur. But they do bring some valuable nuclear technology to the table. NASA plans to test their first 10-kilowatt reactor on the moon by the end of this decade, and NASA intends to use this technology to power human outposts on the moon and Mars. Not to mention, NASA excels in logistics. For instance, NASA is conducting their first round of human experiments by locking 4 people in their Mars mission simulator for a full year in order to observe how they handle the isolation and environment of a space colony. This type of research is necessary before we just launch people into deep space, not to mention the enormous amount of data and experience that NASA brings to the table. This is a simulated Mars habitat constructed using 3D printing technology, an exercise which SpaceX does not currently have. Together, SpaceX and NASA may be able to colonize Mars because of their symbiotic relationship. SpaceX really needs NASA, and NASA really needs SpaceX. This ambitious mission to Mars requires a unique synergy. While SpaceX brings its innovative spirit and rapid production capabilities, NASA offers invaluable experience, expertise, and crucial nuclear technology. Together, they form a formidable team, each piece essential for the puzzle of putting humanity on the red planet. What do you think about this partnership? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.